What if Naofumi was a Assassin's Shield Hero Creed Part 4? What will happen when Naofumi is smarter, more cunning, and less naive than Canon? What will happen when Naofumi is willing to do whatever it takes in order to reach his goals while following his creed? Chapter 4, Hidden Secrets. Warning: the following story will contain a lot of murder, blood, typical murder stuff, except I'm not that good of a writer and have no idea what I'm doing, so it probably won't be very gory. This is my very first FIC and the idea just floated around my head for a while, so I figured that I might as well do something about it. I've only watched the anime and read the manga, so it may or may not be canon. I am currently looking through the LN as I write, so it may take more time for me to write as I want to. Fact check my stuff. EPJ3. I'm not nerfing everybody else, it's just that Naofumi didn't have weapon copying until volume 5 or 6, so I wanted to give it to him early. But it turns out that it's super OP, and this isn't an OP Naofumi FIC. He will have his own way of powering up. Guessed I'm removing weapon copying, so I can't get him to get a shield made for him. But he'll just absorb a lantern for the lantern shield. Prabite Jiv. I may or may not add some romance. I'm not very good at writing stuff like that, and I'm still unsure of the direction that the FIC is going. Red Burning Dragon. Regarding passives, that is the goal of mastering every shield in order to gain equip bonuses without the actual shield equipped. Guessed they won't accuse him of anything in the time of canon, as it won't be believable at all, especially since Malty isn't in Naofumi's party. Also, people are either unaware of the prison break or don't know who broke into the prison in the first place, so no accusing him of attacking the guards. Guessed I will add new mechanics and change some canon shields. I still have to add some other things I want to figure out before starting the main plotline. Guessed I might make a status sheet every now and then. I will tell the stats and bonuses whenever a new shield is introduced, but whether I will afterwards is TBD. Edit October 14th, 21. Not a lot of change. I just saw some spelling and punctuation errors. I changed the amount of money he has, as he doesn't bring much money with him from his world since they make noise. Therefore, he can't get the grimoires yet. Chapter 4, Hidden Secrets. Talking Thinking Transition. Skills/abilities/system. Monster outside the front gate. After exiting the town, Naofumi was greeted by fields of grass extending as far as the eye can see, with cobblestone roads winding their way throughout the scenery. It was beautiful, to say the least. Naofumi hadn't seen this much open field before. Usually, land like this was turned into farmland. Before we go any further, we should set up a party. A party? Why would we celebrate? No, not a celebration party, but rather a team party, where we are linked via magic. It will show you the health and level of party members and give EXP to each party member whenever a monster is killed. Ah, I see. That seems crucial. So how do I do that? You have to open the party icon, then look to the person you want to add and focus on adding them. Okay. Naofumi looked through his HUD until he saw a square with 3 people side by side. He opened it and saw his party list, which was empty. He then tried to add A. Claire. Alright, I got the request. A. Claire Cioto added to your party. Now then, I believe we should find some monsters to fight, A. Claire suggested. The monsters in this area are quite weak, but the farther out we go, the stronger they get. Monsters. Ah, I forgot. The heroes don't have monsters in their worlds. Monsters are typically feral wildlife that tries to attack anyone they see. Is that so? I think that it would be easier if you saw for yourself. They began walking into the field, searching for a monster. Eventually, they spotted an orange spot in the grass. There. That right there is an orange balloon dot. Orange balloon. Go ahead and try to fight it. I want to see your skill level first. Naofumi crouched and started to slowly make his way over the balloon. It was still looking away when Naofumi pounced, extending his blades as he was an inch away from the balloon. The balloon barely noticed anything before it popped into multiple scraps of orange leather. Once Naofumi settled down, he got an alert showing that he got +1 EXP. When he went to pick it up, the gem on his wrist beeped. Naofumi brought the leather and rest of the corpse to his gem, which then absorbed the materials. Orange balloon acquired. The weapon book opened and showed an icon. It was not highlighted, but rather unlocked. Perhaps there are more prerequisites than just absorbing materials. I guess I need to kill a few more before I get a new shield. Perhaps objects are different from monster materials. Why did you sneak up on it like that? Eclair questioned. Orange balloons are notorious for being the weakest monster. My attack is too low to damage anything, so I needed to sneak up on it to use my skill. Skill? But you didn't say anything. You usually have to say a skill in order to activate it. That seems counterintuitive, especially with my skill set. Oh, and what would that be? It's a secret for when we know each other better. Eclair pouted at his response but continued to hunt orange balloons. But didn't you kill it in one hit? I'm pretty sure that's pretty strong. It's one of my shields. It increases my ATK by quite a bit, but not enough to be useful later on. I doubt other shields I obtain will further increase my ATK since they're shields. So that's what I'm for, right? Correct. They started small talk as they traveled through the fields, slaying any balloon they found. They even came across a yellow variant, but that too was easily slain and absorbed. Level up you are now. Level 2. Naofumi looked at the alert, before checking his status. His stats had all gone up by a few points, and he unlocked the orange balloon shield and yellow balloon shield, although it increased his P-def by a mediocre amount. Every bit helps, I guess. The sun had begun setting when they decided to go back. They had a sizable amount of leather from the balloons and unlocked the red balloon shield. It was a successful first mission, all things considered. Naofumi had reached halfway through level 3 and Eclair was close to level 4. They decided to return to the town before it got dark. The next day, they would venture further out. Now that I think about it, I should buy a map. Hey Eclair, do you know anywhere that sells maps? The cartographer should have one. It's over here. At the cartographer's store, Naofumi bought a world map and a map of each different country he could find, a few important maps of Melromark that Eclair thought would be important, and a compass. What's with all the maps? Inquired Eclair. You never know if you'll need them. The last thing I need to be is lost in a different world where I can't read. Putting all the maps into the shield. Naofumi unknowingly unlocked a new shield. Cartographer's shield equip bonus passive, mapping the HUD will display a minimap. Any map absorbed by the shield will be added to the map. Any unexplored area will be filled in as the user travels through. There are a lot of utility shields. Perhaps it is because I can't really attack. Are there any other shops around here? Naofumi asked. I haven't been to Castletown in a while, but every village and town should have an apothecary and maybe a magic shop. They're necessary for many people's livelihoods. Let's stop by those places before we head to an inn. Sure, but do you have enough money? Naofumi looked at the bank shield's balance. 4C49S3G. Yes. Naofumi said, I believe I have more than enough. If not, then we can come back another time. All right then, if you say so. When the pair arrived at the apothecary, they were greeted by an old man behind the counter. They began browsing the aisles together, looking for anything they might need. Everything seemed to be a need-to-need basis, with medicine for sickness, antidote for poison, etc. Some antidote would be useful, but I don't know how effective it would be for my poison, and others I may obtain in the future. But these sets are quite expensive. Speaking of poison, I'll need some small flasks. Not finding any flasks on the shelves, Naofumi went to the counter. Excuse me, but do you sell flasks? Of course. How many do you need? I'll take 20. Of course, of course. That will be 40 silver. You wouldn't happen to have any old tools for making medicine, would you? I do, but they'll still cost you. Of course. I can give it to you for 1 gold, since they're old, and I'll throw in the flasks as a bonus. Handing over the gold coins, Naofumi gathered the tools and flask and deposited them into his inventory. He wasn't sure if there was a limit, but he'd cross that bridge when he got there. Eclair didn't seem very interested in the medicines when Naofumi returned. They then went to the magic shop, where they were met with a woman with a purple robe and witch's hat. The pair wasn't really sure what to do, so went to the counter to ask. Hello, my name is Naofumi and this is Eclair. Naofumi said as he introduced himself and his companion. We're new to magic and are wondering where to start. Of course. Right this way. The first thing you should start with is your affinity. It helps you know what kind of magic you're innately better at learning and using. You can go first, young lady. Me? If you say so. Oh, it seems that you have a small affinity with light magic. It would be a bit easier to learn light magic for you, but by much. That's fine, said Eclair, although she looked a bit downhearted. I prefer the sword anyway. Naofumi patted Eclair's head as he stepped forward to find his affinity. Wow, you have quite the strong affinity for healing and support magic, Naofumi. I recommend these grimoires to learn from. They are harder to learn from than crystal balls, but I assure you, they are more effective. And with your affinity, it should make learning these a breeze. Oh, why thank you, Naofumi said as he reached for the grimoires, only to get blocked by the witch. These will cost you 5 gold each. Ha, sneaky witch. I underestimated your stinginess. Quite the effective tactic. Surely they aren't that expensive. No, they're not. They cost 4 gold and 50 silver, but it is 50 silver for each affinity check, the witch said with a glint in her eye. Naofumi smirked at her before declining the grimoires. He didn't have the gold for that, and he'd rather not go bankrupt right away. How about I pay you the 1 gold, but you answer some of my questions? I'm pretty sure that an affinity check doesn't cost that much. Sure. I don't see why not. What kind of magic are there? There are 4 main categories of magic: attack, illusion, recovery, and support. Within each category are elemental magic. This is fire, water, earth, wind, light, shadow, and lightning. Each element has spells within different categories, except recovery and support, as they have non-elemental magic, which you have affinity for. I see, murmured Naofumi as he processed all of the information. Is there anyone who has affinity for illusion magic? Usually, people with light and dark magic affinity can learn illusion magic, but it's hard to find people like that on short notice. Although, the raccoon people are known for their harnessing of magic that contain both aspects of light and shadow. Is that so? Thank you. Naofumi handed over the gold. With the information stored away, he left the store with Eclair. She was still a bit dejected about not having an affinity for magic. Naofumi rubbed her shoulder in reassurance as he tried to cheer her up. Don't worry about it. Even without magic, you are one of the most skillful swordsmen I have seen. Eclair stiffened up after he said that. Embarrassed by the fact she let her feelings show through, she tried to act natural and continued walking, hoping that Naofumi didn't notice. He did notice, but didn't realize that she was embarrassed. Anyway, let's go to the inn. At the inn, as they made their way into the inn closest to the gate, Naofumi saw the other 3 heroes and their parties eating in the hall. Switching to the small shield, he called out to the other heroes. Hey guys! Naofumi called out. The 3 heroes turned to look at Naofumi in his new armor. Hey man, you look great, said Motoyasu as he slung his arm around Naofumi's shoulders. I agree, you look like a real adventurer now. How does it feel to wear the real thing instead of that cosplay? Questioned Itsuki. Yeah, it just feels so surreal, you know. Cosplay? It was real and had more protection and usefulness than you would know, you piece of. I never imagined that I would be in a new world. You can say that again, agreed Ren. So, who's the chick? Asked Motoyasu as he pointed to Eclair, who was ordering food. That's Eclair. I was asking for directions, and turns out she was heading there too. So we went together, and we meshed together well, so we partied up and went on a small hunt. She's pretty cool, Naofumi said while scratching his cheek. That's pretty cool. So what level are you? Questioned Ren. I'm level 2 right now. I didn't get to hunt for long. A lot of time was spent shopping and learning stuff. Well, I'm level 7 right now. I'm level 8, I'm level 6. Wow, so what was your next plan? I don't know about the others, but I'm heading further north to grind levels in order to prepare for the waves. I'm going east. My party members said that it was the best place to go to grind. I'm going south, so that means we won't cross paths. That's good, don't want you guys to steal my EXP. I guess that means that I'll go west. Naofumi said with a nervous chuckle. Well, good luck, Naofumi. I know we said that the shielder is the worst class, but I'm sure that you'll do great. Itsuki reassured. Thanks, good luck to you 3 as well. Naofumi left the group, heading over to Eclair, who was looking at Naofumi curiously. What was that? What? Asked Naofumi, who began sweating under the stare of his partner. You, earlier, said Eclair while vaguely gesturing to where he was talking just before. Your personality changed. Yeah, they think I'm a sheltered guy who discovered many things recently. They think I'm naive. That's why I acted like that. So is this personality of yours fabricated? No. If I want you to be my partner, I need to be fairly transparent with you. Is that so? How can I tell? I will tell you, just not with these many eyes and ears around. And thank you, for the meal. Eclair nodded and returned to her meal as Naofumi turned to the one which Eclair had ordered for him. As much as Naofumi wanted to ignore it, as he just wanted to eat, he couldn't help but look for the person staring at him. He stood up, seemingly going to buy something at the counter as he scoped out the hall. He spotted the princess glaring at him, not even trying to be discreet. Naofumi stifled a sigh as he ordered some ale. He went to his table and sat down, trying to ignore the princess who wanted to bother him for some reason. I didn't think you were one to drink alcohol, Eclair commented. I just needed an excuse to see who was staring at me. Huh. Eclair started to turn her head when Naofumi pinched her. Ow. Eclair shouted, what the hell? Don't turn around, it's super suspicious. That's why I got the ale. Naofumi growled as he retracted his hand. Fine, you're off the hook this time. Eclair was finishing up as Naofumi poured the ale into a flask and absorbed it under the table. Ale shield equip bonus alcohol resist 1. It could be better, but it's not bad I suppose. No stats but the ability is nice in its own way. We need to get a room. Do you want 2 separate rooms or a single one? Eclair hesitated. On one hand, I'll get my own privacy, but I can't add more money to what Naofumi had already spent on me. In the end, her noble side won. We can share a room. All right then, let's go buy it. Later. You two have fun, the innkeeper said. Naofumi nodded and went to his room while Eclair sputtered behind him. Why didn't you deny it? Asked Eclair. It's too much of a hassle to deny it when people are teasing you. They try to get a reaction out of you, so when you don't show it, they stop. Oh, is that why you didn't say anything at Erhardt's? The weapons store? Yeah, that's why. Oh, well, I'm going to change. I don't want you peeking while I change. Alright, I'll just be doing some shield stuff. Naofumi started to absorb the other maps and compass he bought earlier. The map expanded and Melromark was the most filled in, granted he mainly got Melromark maps. The compass provided a compass on the map, but also another feature. Compass shield equip bonus passive, compass the HUD will display the direction that the user is facing. Naofumi equipped the shield before looking at his HUD. An arc appeared on the top, with numbers and letters on it. He recognized the cardinal directions but not the numbers. Perhaps it was a specific measurement to use rather than vague letters. He saw it move as he turned his head left and right. Seems that I don't need to carry a compass around. That's good. Fewer items to carry means fewer chances to make noise. Naofumi then equipped the Hidden Blade Shield 2 and checked its status. Hidden Blade Shield 2, 96%. Naofumi smiled. Even though it took a long time, his trusty blades would be with him. Naofumi decided to gather some information in the hall. It was always best to hear rumors before they affect you. He exited his room and went to the stairs, only to find the hall empty, save for 2 people. Naofumi crouched down to find a vantage point. To his surprise, it was the princess and a nun. He also noticed that the nun had a familiar rosary of the spear, sword, and bow. I'm not able to get in his party. I saw him earlier, but he already has a party member. I can't get close without being suspicious. As much as the 3 Heroes Church wants to help you get the throne, we can't help you unless you prove yourself. I can't follow the original plan, it's too far-fetched, especially since he has no reason to come on to me. Come up with another one then. You made the first one, you can make another. The nun turned to leave. Naofumi knew that he needed more information as to why the church needed him out of the way and why they call him a demon. Naofumi ran back to his room and switched to the Assassin's Brotherhood uniform before opening the window and jumping out onto the building next to it. He scaled the wall to the roof and looked out to the entrance. He saw the nun a distance away, walking away from him. He cursed to himself as he began running across the rooftops towards the nun. The nun turned into an alleyway as Naofumi caught up to her. She was walking at a brisk pace, although she wasn't looking around for threats. It seems that she has to report to someone. I should follow them to their meeting location. I could get more information there. Before he could keep following the nun, he saw a glint in the corner of his eye. He tilted his head back as a throwing knife whizzed by right in front of his face. Naofumi turned to look at the newcomer on a roof on the other side of the alleyway. A figure in a dark red cloak and black clothes confronted him. They had a white eye mask over their eyes, although Naofumi could feel their glare. A feminine voice called out to Naofumi, "Who are you? If you continue to pursue the Three Heroes Church, then I'll have no choice but to kill you." What a coincidence? I was wondering if the Three Heroes Church had secrets, but you just confirmed them for me. Wadash. Naofumi rushed her while she was confused. The shadow then began to panic as she wasn't expecting him to suddenly jump the gap and rush her. She fumbled with her dagger before Naofumi reached her. She managed to use her dagger to block a blade coming down on her, creating sparks. Naofumi extended his other blade and drove it into her side, but created sparks upon contact. What the? Naofumi was given no reprieve as the shadow started attacking, having recovered from their surprise. Who are you? I won't tell you a thing. Scowling, Naofumi began repeatedly parrying the dagger, until the assailant began to slow in fatigue. Naofumi then kicked the dagger away and brought the assailant into a chokehold. Naofumi paused for a second before dragging the shadow by the cloak to the edge of the roof. You probably won't have any information anyway. People of your caliber are usually too stubborn to say anything. I should just kill you before you tell people know about me. Huh? You wouldn't dare. She choked out. Naofumi looked at her as she glared at him. Suit yourself? Naofumi pulled the woman over the edge, as her legs left the rooftop before she began pleading. Wait. I'm sorry, I'll tell you. Please don't kill me. I'm sorry. With a grunt of affirmation, Naofumi pulled her back onto the roof. Now, do you feel like talking? What is your name and who do you work for? My name is Angelica and I'm a shadow for the Three Heroes Church. Good. Who do you serve? I serve the Three Heroes Ch. Naofumi tightened his hold around Angelica's neck. Who do you serve? I serve the Peepoke, she gasped out. See? That wasn't so hard, was it? All Naofumi got in response was a choked gasp. Now, how many shadows are there? I don't know, all I know is that I'm one of many. Okay, one last thing. What secrets does the Three Heroes Church have? I can't tell you that, Angelica said desperately. Naofumi pulled out a vial of poison. You see this? This is a poison, and if you don't tell me, I'll pour it down your throat and you'll be dead before I leave. And all you had to do was answer a question. So, answer. The Pope if trying to overthrow the royal family. He's manipulating the princess into thinking that she will be the new queen before stabbing her in the back and killing the royal family, the shadow said shakily. Good. Thank you. Naofumi sing-songed as he put away the poison. He began walking away, leaving the shadow alone. Angelica began to cry. I've given out the church's secrets. If anyone found out, she would be executed. Perhaps if she told the Pope about double assassination. All Angelica could feel was a prick in her neck before she died. Plus 1320 EXP. You are now level 3. You are now level 4. You are now level 5. You are now level 6. You are now level 7. She must have been a high level. Her skill was quite impressive. Her fighting style is effective against people, so there are people like me. Naofumi retracted his blades from the shadow. It was a shame, but he learned some valuable information. The Three Heroes Church was an organization he should take care of, and that there are people similar to assassins such as him in this world. Perhaps I can start my own brotherhood here. No, I need to get settled before anything else. Naofumi noticed the menu icon in his HUD was flashing. When he opened it, he was greeted with a new message. Hidden Blade Shield 2, 100%. The stats given by the Hidden Blade Shield 2 are now permanent. The ability Double Assassination can now be activated mentally. Thank goodness. Having to say each skill would alert my position too many times to be helpful. Naofumi made his way back to the inn. Naofumi snuck back through the window, only to be met with Eclair, who had her crossed over her chest as she glared at Naofumi. Would you like to explain why I gained over 1000 EXP in the middle of the night? I was taking a walk when someone attacked me, so I killed them in self-defense. Why'd you kill them? And don't bullshit me with your nightly walk. I saw you jump out the window. It was the Three Heroes Church. Eclair sighed. Tell me the entire story, please. After the entire story, Eclair rubbed the bridge of her nose and sighed. Why'd you kill her? I couldn't let my identity be exposed. Even though they don't know that I'm the shield hero, if word gets out of someone in my outfit, then people will grow suspicious. Still, did you have to kill her? How else would I silence her? I see your point. How about this? Eclair looked at him curiously. I vow to stay my blade from the flesh of an innocent. Although if it's someone armed and affiliated with the three heroes' church, I'll kill them. Fine, fine. You win. Naofumi switched to the needle shield before sitting on his bed. So what are we doing tomorrow? We might stay here for another day or so, then we head west. I want to find a raccoon person, and maybe some stuff for slave crests. I may need them in the future. This country has many demi-human slaves, so we may need to only make one trip. I just hope I find the right place first. Before going to sleep, Naofumi grabbed the table in the corner of the room and barricaded the door. What are you doing? I'm barricading the door. I can see that, but why? Just in case someone wanted something. Could you close the window? Sure. Once they were finished, they went to their sleeping spots. Eclair went to the bed while Naofumi. Why are you in a chair? To sleep? I thought you wanted the bed. I mean, wouldn't sleeping in a chair be uncomfortable? No, it's not the worst place to sleep. I've slept in a tree before. Huh? Why? I'll tell you tomorrow, it's getting late. Ugh. Fine. Good night, Naofumi. Night. Later that night, Naofumi woke up to the sound of the doorknob jiggling and could feel the person putting pressure on the door from outside. Hey, I was right. Naofumi waited as the person outside kept trying to no avail. Eventually they gave up and stumped away. With that, Naofumi went to sleep. Seems that Naofumi needs a raccoon person for their magic wink wink. What do you think of the fighting scene? I feel that it was alright. It wasn't a flashy battle or anything, but tell me what you think. What do you think of the different things I've done, like the interrogation scene? That was fun. I changed the mastery bonus so that 100% mastered shields can have their abilities silently cast. So no shouting airstrike shield or anything like that. Just silent takedowns and abilities manifesting out of nowhere. I feel that it fits Naofumi's character. What do you think of this chapter? I feel like I'm running out of steam for this one. Maybe I should storyboard this FIC. I'm literally just thinking of stuff on the fly. I might not update as soon as I have been. Tiger Trainer XD posted a long review for my prologue, and I'm gonna look. What if Naofumi was an assassin?